All right, welcome to day 2 of Acumatica's Virtual Developer Conference. I'm Mark Franks. Hopefully most of you know me if you've been around at least since last summit and you attended. You should know me. I've been with Acumatica for 6 years now and spent the last 6 years building our developer community here at Acumatica. So hopefully you know me. If you don't, just reach out. You can always send me an email. Be glad to understand what you're doing on the developer front and how I can best serve you. I am responsible for our developer community, and my mission really is to help facilitate the life of the Acumatica developer, your life essentially, if you're a developer, and make that the best experience possible. That's really my mission. If that's not the case, I'd love to have some feedback and would love to know how I can make your life better as an Acumatica developer. Now, just in case you weren't around yesterday, we will make all the presentations, all the sessions available probably in about a week from now. They'll be at the DevCon landing page, which you see there. So Acumatica.com/DevCon, and they'll, if you just go down to each of the sessions and click on the More button, you'll see the slides, any sample code, plus the recording will be available to you. So I'll get the presentations up probably tomorrow, the actual PowerPoints, and any sample code might trickle in the next few days next week, and then I should have all the recordings available by next Friday. So I'm very grateful, as we always are, of our sponsors who make this possible, and a few of these sponsors have been with us since day 1, so I'm very appreciative of all of our sponsors for making this happen. So thank you very much. So let's talk a little bit about yesterday. So yesterday was really about Acumatica Developer Fundamentals. In each of the presentations that we do or events that we do biannually, in January and in June, we always have XRP framework and web services. I spent probably half of the kickoff meeting yesterday talking about our developer community, the resources and events available, and I really focused on the MVP program. And I really made a kind of a call out for those of you interested in joining that program to contact me, and I can tell you more. Love to have you join the 29 active developer MVPs that we have today. So also in the second half, Ollie Johnny, our Chief Product Officer, talked about our product technology update and really focused in on how Acumatica is really a best-in-class in terms of features and functionality. We really striving for a superior user experience and taking advantage of modern technology. And that's really, we really want the platform to be as future-proof as possible. We're updating and modernizing our UI. The infrastructure is being updated. We're supporting .NET Core. And it's a very, as you know, as a developer, if you've been on this platform a while, very extensible platform, and we're always adding as much as we can to support the developer community to make that even more extensible for those of you who are developing on our platform. And we're always trying to add and integrate emerging technologies, machine learning, an IoT framework, and container automation. And one of our founders, Mike, will be essentially anchoring today's sessions by talking about our developer roadmap, and he'll go into some of that detail for you. Now, as I mentioned, our XRP framework and web services sessions that we have yesterday, we have that done at our Summit developer track, and always in our virtual conference that we have. The other thing that we had yesterday is we had Sergey Nikomarov join us, and he gave an update on Acumatica. He talked about Visual Studio and other developer tools, really best practices and how you can monitor. The idea behind that session and these sessions is just leveling up all the developers up there. Sergey and others who presented yesterday, very experienced Acumatica developers, and the idea was to be able to share their knowledge with you to help you become a more efficient and productive Acumatica developer. So I also gave a call to action, which I'll repeat here. One of our best things that you can, from a value perspective as a developer, is participate in our yearly hackathon, which is held at the Summit. If you happen to have a chance to go to the Acumatica User Group Forum podcast that's done, while we were at the hackathon, Brian Stevens, one of our developer MVPs, talked about how that really was a huge impact on him as a new developer coming on Acumatica, and that he looks forward to participating in the hackathon every year. And I can't really overemphasize how much I really would encourage you to come to Summit every year and get there a couple days early and participate in our hackathon. You get a chance to meet, network other developers, including our engineers who show up and help in that, and it's just a great event to help you learn more, get you kind of outside the box of your normal developer routines at your company, and do new kind of skunk work type projects where you can work with others. It's just a really awesome event. And of course, during Summit, besides the hackathon, we have a 2-day dedicated developer track, and then we have in the next couple days after that, Wednesday and Thursday, we also have developer training. So it's really a great event for developers to participate in. I also, the developer MVPs submit 2 blog posts every year. And in those posts, they provide a lot of insight into how to use the platform, the technology, and they provide sample code from you. From a very, somewhat neutral standpoint, it's not our developer team, but people that have actual experience developing third-party applications, extending through web, connectivity through web services, or using the XRP framework to build great applications for their companies and their end users. So even if you're not a developer MVP, if you have a topic you'd like to write about, please contact me and I'll help you publish that. The other thing you can do as a developer is make sure you have a GitHub account. There's a lot of opportunities. We have a Acumatica organizational spot up there on GitHub, and we have over 62 repositories. And in those repositories, like Acumatica, you can actually submit requests, report bugs, you can actually extend functionality. We had one of our MVPs actually help make the Acumatica compatible with Visual Studio 2022. The team originally didn't really have the bandwidth to get that done as quickly as they wanted, but a couple of our developer MVPs asked if they could actually do that work. They submitted their code, it got reviewed, and then it got published, and because of their efforts, we supported Visual Studio 2022 earlier than we would have without their help. So there's a lot of opportunities for developers to contribute to all those repositories. And then we also have a open source project that's just been done by our developer community in having Acumatica surveys, and we're in the process of kicking off another project that I'll talk about at another time. And then, as I said, I talked about the MVP program. If you're interested in that, please contact me, and I can give you more information on that. By becoming a developer MVP, that's where we take the best of the best, if you will, and award one of the developer MVPs Developer of the Year. So it's an opportunity to distinguish yourself as a really great Acumatica developer. The other thing I would encourage you is, if you don't have a Stack Overflow account, please get one. Go out on Stack Overflow. If you are experiencing any problems, you can search Stack Overflow and see if that problem's already been submitted and see what the solution is. You can also submit any questions that you have or any issues that you're having, and developer MVPs and also our engineering developers monitor that and will help answer the questions there. And then something relatively new in the last month is our developer forums out on our community, Acumatica community site, and you can also answer questions there and get answers. And there's also a lot of resources there. You can have easy access to our code that we have, so our latest builds and things like that are posted up there, and you can get access to those. In today's session, we have Gabriel. He's waiting right now to start his session on continuous integration and continuous development. Up next will be Doug Johnson, and we have Alex Novitsky. Excuse me, I'm kind of stuttering his name, so sorry about that, Alex, on your last name, from our developer team, who will be helping Doug in talking about the code aspect of workflow. And then Dimitri will follow up with a performance optimization session, and then Mike, as I mentioned, will anchor our summit with our update on our developer roadmap. So with that, I thank you for joining us. If you need any particular information, you can always go to acumatica.com/developers. It's kind of the one-stop shopping for resources. So with that, I'll turn it over to Gabriel Michaud.